Hey guys, Anne here from on the Go Osteo downtown Montreal. Hope everyone's doing well. Um, I wanted to talk to you. Well, first of all, if you didn't catch our video on Friday, Cheryl and I did our first Fun Fact Friday, and it was pretty fun. We did a bunch of true and false questions where we just asked you about the human body and gave you a chance to say true or false, and you can play the game or not play the game. It was fun. Um, we'll do more of them. This is going to be Tutorial Tuesday, and it's where one of us is going to actually sit down and speak to you about different things you can do to help yourself, help your body, and just become better overall, right? Because that's really the goal of quite a few people who come into our office is they want to improve their lifestyle, they want to improve their functionality, and so on. And generally, quite a few of our clients are just interested in what we know, what we do, and some of the things that we use. So here I am today sharing some stuff about that with you. I'm not sure if you guys listen to podcasts, but I'm going to speak about one particular podcast that I really enjoy, and it's Bulletproof Radio. So if you get a chance to download it, Dave Asprey's the guy who does Bulletproof Radio. He speaks about his journey, and his journey's amazing. Read about him. He's quite an amazing guy. He has quite an inspirational story, and I think a lot of people can relate to what he's been through. So he's doing some pretty cool stuff, and he uses the term biohacking the body. And generally what that means is, creating ways and functionalities to improve the body's system and really to improve quality of life. And that's his sole goal, is to really improve his quality and duration of life. I think in one of his podcasts, he said he wants to live to about 170, I believe was his number. And he's probably going to create the technology to do it, right? So it's pretty interesting to listen to, and it's a really cool way to get out of kind of the old school medicine phase and kind of look into what these guys are doing privately and how they view and look at the body. It's quite different than, the old ways. And we have all this technology at our fingertips, so why not use it, right? Okay, so here's the deal. I want to go over a couple apps with you because a couple clients of mine that I'm working with privately have asked me, hey, what's on your phone? I want to know what's on your phone. And since we live in 2017, I thought I would share some of the apps that I am currently using and I have tested out and I find pretty cool. There are ones that I did find through Bulletproof Radio as well. And I just tried to test out a bunch of them and see which ones I liked, and I'll tell you about them. And maybe it's something that you want to use as well. So the first app on my phone has nothing to do with Bulletproof Radio. I just like it because I understand that working the brain in a different way can just, help reduce brain fog. It can actually help reduce anxiety if you stop doing the same thing over and over again and just change how the brain's working. So I actually have Duolingo, which I'm sure a lot of people are aware of, and I try my best. My boyfriend's going to watch it and say, you don't do it every day. But I do try my best to do my French lessons every day because I'm living in Montreal, Quebec, and it's a language that I really want to learn. I find it difficult to perfect. I mean, I don't know if anyone can relate to me for that, but I do go over Duolingo and I try to just refresh my memory with new words, new sentences, new phrases, and just stringing them together in the past tense or present tense or so on. So Duolingo is when I learn. It helps me work the memory side of my brain, and it helps me definitely work the speech side because you're speaking into the speaker from time to time and your pronunciation in another language. It's just really cool. And there's so much research done on how effective learning another language is for the brain and how it can make you, think a little bit differently. So that's one thing that I use. The second one I use is I wrote them down here because I didn't want to forget, is Peak. Peak is a brain training application, and I think it has about 20 different games on it, I believe. It helps basically build your memory, focus, problem solving, and other cognitive skills. And I mean, I find it pretty fun and entertaining, so, but that's just me. Basically, it was built by neuroscientists, cognitive psychologists, and gamers, obviously game researchers who do this as a job, and some educational experts. And what it wants you to do is measure your performance on the games, and then it suggests kind of like a brain workout for you based on your goals to increase your skills in that particular area. So that's something that's pretty cool, and it just gets you thinking in a different way. I like to do it, just take, a 10-minute break throughout the day and kind of do one of those, and just, makes me think in a different way. And I really enjoy it. There's a bunch of brain training applications out there, but that's just one of them that I really enjoy that I thought I'd share with you guys. I've used this one for a little while. I don't use it anymore, but there was a time in my life where my sleep cycle wasn't so good, and I really wanted to figure out why it wasn't going well and so on. I figured out why. The why was the hard part, but when you're not getting enough sleep, it's pretty hard to function properly throughout the day when you're not getting your adequate amount of sleep. And you also don't necessarily get the healing in the body that you need. So you wake up maybe not feeling as refreshed, you have pains and so on. And we really try to promote getting a healthy amount of sleep. That's normal. That's actually not happening with quite a few people. And I could go on about that for days, but really, the app's called Sleep Cycle. And in Sleep Cycle, when you wake up during the lightest part of your sleep, you feel more rested throughout the day, right? That's kind of how it goes. Now, with the Sleep Cycle app, it's about a 30-minute alarm window that monitors your movements to determine where you are in your sleep cycle, and that you wake up during the lightest part of your sleep so you feel more rested throughout the day. Now, does that work for everybody? I don't know. It depends on your lifestyle. You can, make the app your own and so on, but it's really cool to see trends of your sleep cycle. And then you can kind of figure out, how much sleep you might actually need. Maybe you aren't getting enough sleep and you just have no idea. So stuff like that really, really works and really helps out. That's a cool app. I wanted to go down for one about stress management because that's a huge part I find downtown Montreal. There's a lot of people who I would say, there's good stress and bad stress. And I've talked about that before. We talk about, working out can be a good stress on the body, right? But there is stress that we hold on to that's not serving our body very well. And that can result in, eventually anxiety, depression, and your body will send you messages telling you that it's not comfortable where it's at. And if we choose to ignore that, that's when, sicknesses can really prevail. And generally in society, we try to cover that up with medication, whereas I don't really believe that's the necessary solution. It's not a long-term solution for you. So, really trying to detect in your body where your anxiety and your stresses are coming from and eliminate that from your life is pretty huge. And you'd almost have to do that on a regular basis. Now, there's a few that I've tried in regards to this, and it was interesting. There's a few that I like for mindset based, and Headspace was one which I'm sure a lot of you know about. It's a meditation app, and it actually taught me in the beginning how to meditate. I believe there's 10 sessions on the application. I'm going to have to look because it might have changed. And you do them 10 meditation sessions in 10 days. And after that, it provides a guide for you of how you want to meditate. You can do unguided meditation or guided meditation depending on where you're at. And it kind of can build you a program of what suits you best. And I mean, for me, 10 minutes a day is golden if it's going to help, reduce stress in the mind and in the body, and also open up the mind to make you more aware of where that stress, anxieties, depressions, and so on are coming from. That's where we actually really need to learn about our bodies. So I find that a pretty cool app. The last one I wanted to tell you about, Ovana is another one, by the way, for meditation. It's also used to improve your mood and your sleep and so on, which I find meditation does anyway, because it's that awareness phase that we really need to get into. You need to kind of tap into your own body and just be aware. The last one I wanted to tell you about is Stress Check. Okay. Stress Check uses your phone's camera. So it uses your camera on your phone to measure your heart rate so you can estimate your level of stress. Okay, hear me out on this one. When your stress level increases, so does your heart rate. Okay, if you're following me there. That's why sometimes you get, that pounding feeling in your chest, and some people describe it as they feel like they're having a heart attack or so on, but sometimes that can actually be like an anxiety attack, right? So Stress Check analyzes your heart rate variability, so the amount of time between your heartbeats, and that becomes more erratic as you get stressed. So that's pretty important to just see, what's going on. It gives you an accurate reading of your stress level, and maybe it's something you want to assess to see, at what time of day that's happening, right? And as you use the app more, it becomes more accustomed to your heart rate variability. How that works, I don't exactly know, but it does get more accurate with the more you actually use it. And I tried that for a while, which I thought was really interesting. And I found parts of my day that I didn't even realize, but they weren't really serving me well. They weren't serving my body well, and it was actually quite stressful. So I eliminated it, and it just really helped me, get back on track and so on. So there you go, guys. There's about a 10-minute video. I wanted it to be 10 minutes, but it's probably longer. Sorry. But check out some of these apps, and I would actually recommend really listening to Bulletproof Radio and just seeing if it's something that you're interested in. They just give such really, really cool ideas. We're in 2017, healthcare is going to evolve, technology is going to evolve. We might as well be up to date with it and just know what's out there, because maybe there's something out there that can really help you compared to, traditional medicine as we know it. Anyway, have a good one, guys. Take care, and share this with a friend or family member if you think they might benefit. Have a good one.